Now we'll come to the most important part of the movie, Shahrukh Khan direction. But I know you're a big fan of A.R. Rahman. So you want to talk about the music and the background score
Oh,
of the movie?
I mean, yeah, I don't think we have enough time, right, to talk about that.
Yeah,
Lekin,
but
yeah, you're right. I mean, basically, yes, I'm a big fan. Um, but also, if you see the type of songs, right, starting from, and this was another subtle thing I noticed in the beginning. Um,
you hi chala.
You Hi Chala Chal. So you can see the way we can listen to it when he's playing that song from the tape recorder in the car. It sounds
Uh-huh.
different, right? It
Right,
sounds
right,
almost
right.
like it's running in mono mode. And
Yeah,
then as he transitions from that song to now he's singing it, you can see
right,
even through, from a listening perspective, it changes from mono to stereo. There
right,
was a very
right, right, right.
subtle thing he was playing with, and we experienced it, which I thought was
Yes,
brilliant, right?
absolutely.
And then there was that portion, just the songs itself, they're all amazing. And then there is the portion also, like you said, Ye Tara Wo Tara, just beautiful music, right? So even though the
Absolutely.
message is deep, the music, if
Hmm.
we just listen to the music, it's very much like what kids would like to listen to, right? It's got that
Absolutely.
aspect to it, which I
Right.
think basically is speaking to the genius of A.R. Rahman, but also the fact that this is not him just writing songs that he thinks are beautiful. This is about
Hmm.
him writing songs that also are in concert with what Ashutosh Gowarikar wants from that song.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then same when you think about Ye Jo Des, actually
Oh,
before the song also there was that song Pal Pal Hai Bhari,
oh yeah.
right?
Ram
So
Bhagwan ke बारे में.
here's Ram Bhagwan ke Baare Mein, which is
हाँ,
also written by Javed Akhtar,
exactly.
right? And then
Right.
but in that song also the way the music changes based on the message that is being conveyed, where she's singing and talking about the praise of Ram, but then he is
Mhm.
talking, when he starts singing his part, it's a different message where it's more about, if you think about it, even Ravan wasn't wrong,
Exactly.
right? It's
Right,
about
right.
what you have inside of you that
Yeah,
matters. The music changes based on the message being conveyed. Brilliant.
brilliant.
And then Ye Jo Des Mein to, I mean, that whole song is incredible, right? Best song of that whole track,
Album. Yeah.
soundtrack. Taken what the album, but um, the parts where towards the end there's the whole tabla section.
Ah,
Abhi, that's the one where I think so. My wife Shruti, that's her favorite portion as well, because
okay.
that is the one where it's just beautiful. It just flows with the way the song should end, right?
Exactly.
And he's got a
Exactly.
similar pattern, by the way, of that in another song from Rang De Basanti.
Hmm.
I forgot which song it was in Rang De Basanti. Oh, it's the one with Lata Mangeshkar, where A.R. Rahman sings.
Oh,
Um,
बेटा वाला ना
um,
लुक्का छुपी बहुत हुई.
Luka Chupi. Even if
Hmm.
you notice in that song towards the end, he tapers with this version of tabla, which then ends with a crescendo of those two doing Jugalbandi. But
Exactly.
fantastic song. And then the key thing among all this, right, while the songs are amazing, it's the
Mhm.
fact that throughout those key scenes that we've been already talking about,
Right.
what makes the scene go to a whole nother level and elevates it is the background score. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's a reason we moved from silent movies to movies with sound. And
Exactly.
there are some times when sound is just there because it's there, but then there are some times when sound is there to carry the story further, to carry the scene further. And to me,
Absolutely.
these background scores are just point perfect. If you go back and watch, well, go forward in the future and watch this movie again, 50 years later, you will still say this was perfect. You could not have done
Exactly.
better.
Exactly.
That's what I think. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I know the value of background score throughout this movie. Every single scene, whether it is those thrilling scenes where he's doing that वो क्या लाइट जनरेट कर रहा है या फिर
Mm-hmm.
वो सीन्स जहाँ पे देयर इज दिस वाटर वाला सीन या
Mm-hmm.
गांव में जा रहा है वो सीन्स the way he's used music and sound, I completely agree with you, and it elevates the movie and takes it to the next level. You know, and it's a combination of great uh, music, great lyrics, great performance, and obviously the great direction from Ashutosh Gowarikar. Everything, all the departments, they gave their best and they came up with a movie that will be remembered forever, as you mentioned. Right. So I completely agree. I'm also an A.R. Rahman fan, not probably as much as you. And I believe the value that he's added to a lot of the movies that he's done is really amazing. And to this movie specifically, outstanding. Even that song, Dekho Na, that's such a
Hmm.
melodious song. It's such a beautiful, वो जो रात का setting है, धीरे धीरे they are getting connected with each other, and that transitions to that turbine wala music. If you see the transition that happens from that soft melody to that turbine, mein, they are working together because I think it's a follow up, right? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it
beach
is.
mein hi
It
ho raha hai.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
so absolute wonderful transition. So, uh, yeah, goosebumps when I'm talking about it also. Right. Okay, so
Genius.
absolutely.
I would also say that I think one of the things that don't ever get talked about in this movie is well, a couple of things. One is the choice of actors they made for the right roles.
Right,
Right, it
right,
was
right.
brilliant.
Absolutely.
You didn't need mainstream actors. You needed
Exactly.
actors who knew how to convey that role best, and I think they did that
Absolutely.
fantastically well. And then the other thing was the understated role of Kaveri Amma. To your point,
Oh,
she was
yes.
manipulating, but to me, I also see it as see manipulating has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But right, and I know
I
you
didn't
didn't
mean
mean it that
it.
way.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
exactly. I know you
yeah.
didn't mean it that way, but that's
Right.
kind of what she was being kind of doing. But I see her as the master orchestrator, right? She knew
Exactly.
here's my this boy that I raised.
Hmm.
अभी वो अमेरिका गया है, settled है, happy है, but he keeps wanting me to come. He needs to be told. Oh, that reminds me of another scene, by the way. The scene where
Uh,
for the other lady in the village who, when they are drying the chilies, and she tells him,
yeah,
बर्फ का
मुकद्दर है कि
कि
अपने ही.
मुकद्दर he has to melt in its own water, exactly,
Right, right,
right?
right,
And
right.
so that's the light bulb for her to become the
Brilliant
orchestra.
dialogue. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
brilliant. So Kaveri Amma to me was the understated role of the movie, where she was the one putting all these things in motion, basically.
So we have another cameo by my brother Rahul Raman. Now he's used to giving cameos to my videos, podcasts. So thank you, Rahul. Before we wrap up, I thought I should bring you in as well. So we are talking about the movie Swades, you know that, and Ajay loves this movie. That's the reason ये podcast मैंने अजय के साथ किया. Do you have anything to say about this movie? Anything, any kind of impact it had on you as while you
It
were
had a
growing up?
very huge impact on me, actually.
Oh,
I remember, remind me, when did this movie release?
2004,
Uh,
December.
so 2004. Um, so that was also the year that we had gone to US, and we had relocated, right? Sort of like, at least that was the plan. 2004, we will relocate. Got the green card and everything, and um, we came back fortunately, and changed our plans. So I remember watching the movie and coming home, and I was so emotionally charged that I got the green card, and I told my mom, I'm going to break it. I don't want to go to US. I want to
Wow.
stay in India, and I want to just live in India. So I remember that. I don't know if mom remembers, but
Mhm.
that is the kind of impact it had. And I remember the feeling, like, I was feeling really emotionally charged, that why am I going to the US? Why can't I make a life in India like, Shahrukh Khan in the movie did? So, and the songs, uh, I have so many memories with Ajay of Lagan and Swades songs, that when we would go on long drives, we would sing. And I remember once we both were, on a drive, and we were singing Ye Jo Desh Hai Tera, and it brought
Wow.
tears to our eyes while we were
Oh,
driving. I
wow.
think, the the songs were, I think the songs were equally the star of the movie as was the story and, of course, Shah Rukh Khan. So, um, I don't think there is. I've seen a patriotic movie, or a movie that evokes patriotism better than Swades, especially for people who are living abroad, right? So, um, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with both of you on this. I never had this dilemma because I've always been living in India. I never had to go through that. Having said that, I'm glad that both of you eventually relocated to US and are doing very well for yourself and for the family, especially you, Rahul, because I was able to take this break from my work. It's no longer a break now, I think. It's more than a break. But I was able to do that because you were supporting our family and also me. That Afreen was supporting me, you are also supporting me, but more importantly, you are supporting our family, our parents, and so that aside, I'm glad that you went to US because of that. But I'm also glad that a movie was able to do that, right? If a movie is able to inspire you in any way, even if it's temporary, I think it has done its job. So, and yeah, so wonderful, Rahul. Now, going back to our main guest, Ajay, any finishing words before we wrap up this podcast?
No, I was just going to say thank you so much for having me to talk about one of those two movies that I really like of Shahrukh Khan. I should say there's a third one, Pardes, also, by the way.
Oh, wow. So, Dev
Uh,
Pardes.
yeah, exactly. But no, thank you so much for doing this. I really enjoyed, chatting with you about this movie and sharing our passion for this awesome movie. And then always great seeing our favorite brother Rahul on this as well. So thank you for that surprise cameo. And this is
Absolutely.
fantastic. I hope you get lots of views and this becomes a big thing for you as well, apart from your amazing movie career as well. So
Yes, I mean, I'm glad that I'm doing this because I'm able to record what I feel about certain things, certain movies, certain other things also, like cricket and sometimes politics. Not much into politics though. I mean, I'm not doing podcasts related to politics though, but still, whatever my opinion about a lot of things are, I'm glad I'm able to voice it and record it so that in the future I can just look back and listen to them and be like, wow, yeah, I said these things. You said these things, it's here for eternity. So I think on that note, we can finally wrap up this podcast. I love this doing it with you, Ajay and Rahul. Thanks for coming in the end and adding to this. But I really love doing it. It gives me different perspectives from people who are not necessarily Shahrukh fans as such, right? फैंस तो तारीफ करने ही वाले हैं हर तरफ से बट नॉन फैंस से ये सुनना बहुत अच्छा लगता है एंड आई एम ग्लैड यू डिड दैट so thank you again both of you. Let's talk to each other very soon, maybe another DDLJ podcast with you, Ajay, or Pardes, maybe you never know. Yeah.
sounds good,
Okay.
Karthik.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Rahul.
Mhm. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Karthik.